Good morning, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing a video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know, and I want to speak to the black youth in this video. I'm not black. I don't claim to know anything about it. I'm just a privileged white boy, for being honest, and while I'm homeless at the moment, I'm still privileged because I get unfair treatment, unequal treatment, that is, but I want to give you something that is useful, something that is actually going to help you if you want to hear it. You don't have to believe it, you don't have to buy it, but this is a real useful gem of wisdom if you want it. I see things from my perspective in my corner of the woods, so to speak, where things aren't so fair to black people, especially young black people. And I will tell you this much: adversarialism is hurting you. Adversarialism is looking at things through a hostile lens where you can use hostility, aggression, anger, destruction, sabotage, and, let's be honest, lies, cheating, and stealing to get what you need. I do understand that you have to eat. We all have to eat. And I also understand that there are excuses that everyone uses. I'm not ignorant about that. But I am saying this much: I have seen and heard things that are funny until I have to deal with them directly. I'm going to give an example to start with. So a black man, a young black man, walks into a recording studio. He sees an instrument bank. There are a lot of expensive mixers, samplers, synthesizers, and he says, "Oh, this is a rocket launcher right here." It's believable, isn't it? Okay, well, he's looking through that lens I mentioned, the lens of adversarialism. And yes, it's funny, and this actually became a song. I'm going to put some links in my description here. Feel free to check them out. But this is also a self-limiting attitude. I just watched a video, and I will definitely link that video in the description. I'm going to go find it, and I'm going to put it in there. A black man, a very well-spoken black man, who I happen to have a great deal of respect for. At this time, I've watched several of his videos, and I appreciate them very much. He mentions a few things I want to respond to, if I could, respectfully. He mentions that sometimes people appear to be good at certain things, such as hypnosis, when in fact it's just a byproduct of being a good artist, if you want to look at it that way. And here's a metaphor, an example. This isn't an actual historical example, it's just a hypothetical. Consider that somebody gets invited to a lot of parties. You could, if you wanted to be hostile, describe this event, this being invited to a lot of parties, as them being good at trespassing. You could say that they're a soldier at penetrating the wall of the fortress, and they end up inside more often than not. And it's funny, I guess, until that becomes your attitude and it starts limiting your options, because people are sensitive. When everything's a fight, it's not necessarily a barbecue anymore, or a party, or whatever. They're seeing, okay, it's going to be a fight first and foremost, every moment, every day, when we're together. And before you know it, here's the point: you don't get invited to very many parties. Parties aren't about knocking people out or whatever, you know what I mean? Parties are about having a good time. Approaching people not from an adversarial stance, but from a vote of confidence. And yes, you deserve that too. And yes, you have been denied your vote of confidence every day of your life. And I'm not saying it should be easy. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not saying it's even possible to rise above that. I'm just saying what it requires. To be the beloved, to be the beloved, you cannot get there by going against the grain from the bottom. You have to use diplomacy. However, you also have to know when to defend yourself. Communicate when you are right, why you are right, and stick to your guns when you are right, but as a last resort. not as a first resort. And I'm working on this myself, I'll be honest. Full confession, full disclosure. It's easy to be hostile when you don't want to see people anymore. It's easy to get bitter, to feel despairing, to give up, to look at people as enemies everywhere. That's not the answer. You only go in one direction. Once you take on that attitude, it's called an attitude for a reason. What is an attitude? What is a plane's attitude? It means what direction it's going, up or down. What is your attitude? Anyhow, I'm not trying to pass judgment. I'm definitely not trying to preach. This is free wisdom. If you like it, you're free to reject it completely. I'm not selling anything. I don't want anything in return. And I'm grateful for all the things that I've learned in my life that helped me out. Try to mesh unless you can't. It's that easy. Reach out if you like with questions or comments to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.